Welcome to our U.S. briefing show. Today, we kick off with a quick health check. President Trump, at age 79, is undergoing his semi-annual physical right before heading to the Middle East, just after a ceasefire in Israel-Gaza. Despite having a physical in April, he's still fit and active, even with some chronic venous issues. Talk about staying on top of your game. Next up, Trump's big trade moves. He secured over $1.5 trillion in pledged investments from allies like Japan and the EU, but it's not your typical aid. Instead, he's turning it into a strategic power play, demanding high profits and control, which some call a reverse Marshall Plan. It's a bold, risky move that could reshape global economic dependencies. Lastly, China is hitting back hard in the ongoing trade tension saga. They've imposed port fees on U.S. ships and tightened controls on rare earth exports, especially those used in advanced chips and military tech. These measures could escalate the tech war, making international trade even more complicated. Plus, with the government shutdown affecting federal workers and the militarization of U.S. immigration enforcement making headlines, it's a packed news day. Please continue to enjoy our detailed coverage. South China Morning Post vividly describes how President Donald Trump is undergoing a semi-annual physical at Walter Reed Military Medical Center, just before embarking on a Middle East trip amid ongoing tensions and recent ceasefire developments in the Israel-Gaza conflict. Despite the White House's assertion that this is a routine checkup, Trump's own words reveal it as a semi-annual exam, emphasizing his confidence in being in great shape, even as medical reports from April highlighted his active lifestyle and recent health issues like chronic venous insufficiency. The narrative paints a picture of a president keen on projecting strength and health, balancing his public appearances with routine medical assessments, all set against the backdrop of a pivotal diplomatic journey. The South China Morning Post also vividly depicts Trump's aggressive push for global investments in what is described as a reverse Marshall Plan, transforming the traditional aid model into a scheme where America's allies pledge billions of dollars, $1.5 trillion in total, toward U.S. strategic interests. Countries like Japan, the European Union, and South Korea are pressured to channel vast sums into American projects, with demands for hefty profit shares and upfront payments that threaten to drain their economies and deepen dependencies. The article contrasts this approach with the original Marshall Plan's spirit of aid and cooperation, highlighting how Trump's version emphasizes short-term economic gains and strategic dominance, risking economic hollowing out and strained alliances in a shifting geopolitical landscape. China's Associated Press report vividly captures the escalating tit-for-tat tensions in international trade, as China retaliates against U.S. port fees with its own financial measures targeting American vessels. Beijing's new fees, which will increase annually until 2028, are a direct response to the U.S. plan to impose port charges on Chinese ships, symbolizing a broader escalation in trade hostilities amid high-stakes talks between President Trump and Xi Jinping. The story vividly describes how China's measures explicitly target U.S.-linked ships, with warnings from Beijing that such restrictions could severely impact global shipping and trade order. This narrative underscores the intensifying trade conflict, with both nations wielding economic tools in a strategic contest that threatens to ripple through global markets. South China Morning Post reports that China has initiated a strategic retaliation against the United States by imposing phased port fees on American ships starting next Tuesday, mirroring similar charges previously announced by the U.S. Trade Representative. This tit-for-tat move underscores the escalating trade tensions between the two superpowers, with China demonstrating its willingness to respond to U.S. tariffs. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump, amidst this trade war, is threatening to halt Chinese imports and has expressed hope that Xi Jinping will purchase more U.S. soybeans, despite Beijing's recent restrictions on American agricultural exports. The political landscape heats up as Beijing criticizes Taiwanese leader William Lai's recent speech, branding him a troublemaker, while a former French finance minister declares that free trade is dead, advocating for the EU to adopt a more nationalist stance. In scientific advancements, Chinese researchers have taken a significant leap toward developing next-generation batteries capable of powering devices and vehicles 3 times longer on a single charge, signaling a breakthrough that could reshape energy storage. Concurrently, Chinese regulators are intensifying efforts to curb industry price wars, aiming to stabilize the market by scrutinizing below-cost bidding practices. Historically, the Qin dynasty's brief but transformative 15-year rule marked the dawn of China's imperial era, laying the foundation for the nation's future unity and strength. The South China Morning Post highlights China's latest move in the ongoing chip war with the United States through the announcement of new rare earth export controls that could shift the global technological battlefield. Industry veteran Xiang Ligong expressed surprise at the inclusion of case-by-case review clauses for exports related to advanced chipmaking and military AI, suggesting that China has largely overcome its semiconductor R&D hurdles and is now poised to expand production capacity and regulate exports more stringently. These controls, effective December 1, target critical rare earth elements like neodymium and dysprosium, vital for high-tech manufacturing, and could complicate U.S. efforts to produce cutting-edge chips and equipment. The move signifies a strategic offensive by Beijing, transitioning from defensive restrictions to proactive measures in the global competition for technological dominance. As China's semiconductor industry rapidly advances, with domestic equipment now rivaling or surpassing foreign counterparts, the country's efforts to control the export of key materials and components, such as lithium batteries and graphite anodes, highlight its determination to protect its strategic interests. This evolution in China's mineral and technology policies underscores the intensifying rivalry with the U.S., which has sought to limit China's access to advanced chip technology since 2019, making the global semiconductor landscape more complex and unpredictable. The Atlanta government shutdown has cast a long shadow over federal workers, with the city's airport and various agencies feeling the impact of unpaid labor. According to Yahoo US, TSA employees, many of whom are predominantly black, are living paycheck to paycheck, facing mounting financial hardships such as late mortgage payments, defaulted car loans, and the inability to afford childcare. Union leaders like Aaron Barker describe their members as pawns in a political game, feeling discarded and exploited as they continue to work without pay. This economic strain is not only personal but also ripples through the local economy, with furloughs and layoffs affecting thousands of Georgia residents, including CDC and IRS workers. Many federal employees see themselves as bargaining chips, caught in a political standoff that disregards their well-being, fueling frustration and a sense of betrayal among those who serve on the front lines of national governance. Meanwhile, across the country, federal law enforcement agencies are adopting military-style tactics that blur the line between civilian policing and military operations. Yahoo US reports on disturbing incidents where ICE and other agencies deployed helicopters, armored vehicles, and flashbang grenades during raids, turning neighborhoods into war zones. Witnesses like Monica Solorzano describe the chaos, grenades exploding at their feet and officers storming homes with military precision, highlighting how these tactics threaten civil liberties and safety. The use of such aggressive military hardware on American soil has prompted outrage from civil rights organizations and lawmakers, who argue it transforms peaceful protests and community interactions into combat zones. The situation is exacerbated by government officials, including former President Trump, advocating for the militarization of city streets and even suggesting using cities as training grounds for the military, raising serious concerns about the erosion of democratic norms and the sanctity of civilian spaces. In the tech sector, Tesla faces mounting scrutiny over its self-driving technology, with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigating 58 incidents involving the full self-driving (FSD) feature. CNN details how these vehicles have run red lights, driven on the wrong side of the road, and caused crashes and injuries, casting doubt on Elon Musk's ambitious plans to deploy autonomous taxis nationwide. Critics argue that Tesla's branding of FSD as full self-driving is misleading, as the system still requires vigilant human oversight, and many accidents occur without warning. This ongoing investigation underscores the risks of deploying unproven autonomous systems on busy roads, especially as Tesla's sales falter amid competition and consumer dissatisfaction. Musk's promise of a driverless future now hangs in the balance, with regulators and investors questioning whether Tesla's software can truly deliver on its lofty claims, or if it's merely a high-stakes gamble that could jeopardize public safety. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning sunlight on the street, City whispers soft and sweet, faces mix in daily grind, every story intertwined, cultures blend like colors bright, languages in the silent night, on the table stories told, food and feast upon so bold. People living day by day, in the heart they find their way, sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Society in rhythms beat, entertainment's fleeting heat, echoes of wars and fears, laughing through our unseen tears. Children playing in the park, drawing dreams till after dark. Elders speak of days gone by, washing shadows from the sky. People living day by day, in the heart they find their way, sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Society